All right, what's going on, guys? We are live. Welcome back to Blunt Politics. I'm Boston Brian. How's everybody doing? I appreciate you being here. We have government shutdowns to talk about. We have ridiculous new peace proposals, so-called, to talk about from Trump and Netanyahu. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me see if I can put this on the screen because it seemingly looks like we're awaiting some sort of an announcement, some sort of press conference, some sort of media activity here regarding the government shutdown. This looks is a live look at the Senate floor as government shutdown approaches. We'll also be talking about, let's see if I can bring this other stuff in here for you too as well. Obviously, we'll be talking about the troops in Portland. We got videos talking about the troops in New York as well. I mean, not New York, Chicago. My apologies. We'll be taking a look at the ridiculous meeting from Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, where they called together roughly 900 of our top military commanders, our top military generals, our top military officials and officers together in the same place at the same time, which is never a good idea, especially when you're pulling them off of really important assignments. We'll be taking a look at what they had to talk about in there. This is a little bit of the coverage from that Netanyahu Trump press conference, but this is a little bit of RSBN beforehand, kind of giving a little bit of what they were told ahead of time this announcement was going to be, and it differs a little bit from what the actual announcement was going to be. We also have this CBS clip that we'll be taking a look at, talking about what to know about Trump's peace proposal for Gaza or lack thereof. Aaron Rupert did a fabulous job of kind of putting together some clips of Trump's speech. Trump also had some supposed announcement after this. So if we get sick of kind of listening to this guy moan, mumble, and groan on, then we have a bunch of clips that we can get to kind of highlight some of the more ridiculous moments in this. As I said before, we'll be talking about the government shutdown. What else do we have? There's a couple clips here, a couple articles I want to take a look at. What else do we got? Let's see what else we got. Tim Pool. Yeah, we got this stupid Tim Pool clip that I want to take a look at here, where Tim is seemingly, where is he? Oh yeah, he's trying to say that the military meeting in Kegseth is about gearing up for war with Russia. Apparently, Kegseth tells military to prepare for war in epic speech, ends woke policies. Tim gives his little 2 cents on it, but in this, I'm pretty sure he tries to highlight the fact that we're maybe going to war with Russia. I don't know. We'll see what the hell he's figuring out. We'll see what the hell he's talking about as we get to it. But let me bring in the chat. Say hi to everybody first and foremost. Thank you so much to the mods. I appreciate every single one of you for making sure that chat stays a safe place and everybody can get their ideas and opinions out there. Thank you to everybody that shows up day in and day out to support this channel as well, whether it be through Venmo up in the corner. We also have, let me see if I can throw this up there for a second, just so in case anybody has it. There's also PayPal that we have as well. So it's either Venmo, which is up there now, or PayPal, which is up there now. So if you can bust a buck or two, try your luck at supporting some independent media, what is actually true and actual independent media. It would go a long, long way. And I just want to go off, first off, thank you to the spine and the backbone that is the Patreon community, the YouTube membership community, and the people that are continuously donating memberships and gifting super chats and super stickers that allow this show to keep going without talking to an advertiser, without selling you a fucking gold or green or purple drink, without talking about the toothbrush that saved my life or the mattress that saved my back. So it is only because of you guys that I am able to do this, and I appreciate you. And if you could like, share, and subscribe. A lot of people watching aren't subscribed to the channel. It's free to do so. So if you like what you're hearing, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 15,000 subscribers, and roughly, I think we're really close on passing 1,000 members too. 1,000 members to the channel. So thank you guys so much for your loyalty and your continued friendship of the show. But what do you say we get into? I'll continuously check back on this. And if any, excuse me, I won't continuously check back on that. I lied. I'll continuously check back on this, which is, I don't know. I'm assuming it looks like the media is gathering for some sort of update. Let's see if I can check in here. What are they saying? Anything? So it looks like we're not too far away. I'm not sure if it's Republicans. I'm not sure if it's Democrats. I'm not sure what this little interview or press conference is going to be about, but like I said, we'll continue to check back in on that and see what the updates are about the government shutdown. But before we get into all of that stuff, just a couple things. First and foremost, I'd like to say that, regardless of what your feelings are for Chuck Schumer, regardless of what your feelings are for Hakeem Jeffries, and I've made mine very clear on this show before, I do believe that they are at least approaching this government shutdown in the correct way, putting this on Republicans, saying, listen, how can it be the fault of the Democrats when you have the fucking presidency, you have the Senate, you have the House, you have the Supreme Court? How could it possibly be our fault that you guys don't have enough votes to get your own shit passed, right? Like, again, relying upon us. And if you want to rely upon us for votes, then here is our list of demands. And these are the things that we want to see changed on there. And then we can consider talking about helping you guys vote on this shit, but that in no way, shape, or form are we voting on the original form. If you want any help whatsoever from Democrats to avoid a government shutdown, then here's a list of demands that we need to see that is going to either erase or change or help the American people from save you from the budget that you guys passed, the bold, shitty, moldy bill, that one, right? So I think, regardless of what my opinions are of, how they've been fighting in the past, or, their, rhetorical skills, or their ability to come out and, uplift people and motivate people, I do think this is being approached in the correct way. They're talking about it as a Republican shutdown. If it shuts down, it's going to be because of the Republican Party and Donald Trump and nobody else. It's not going to be on us. This is the list of demands that we had that are beneficial to the American people and things that we want to see changed, things that the American people want to see changed. And if you want our assistance, if you want our help, or us to even consider helping you, then we need to sit down to the table and start negotiating immediately, which obviously should have happened a long time ago. But as reported, the Republicans, and as Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries were saying, nobody approached them to talk to them and see if they could kind of get them on board and see what they needed to change and kind of do what a government is supposed to do, a bipartisan government is supposed to do. So again, if the government shuts down, if or when the government shuts down, it is not on the hands of the Democrats. The blood is on the hands of the Republicans, the people that have the presidency, the people that have the Senate, the people that have the power in the House, the people that have the power in the Supreme Court, right? The people that are now sending National Guard and ICE into cities all over the country. That's not the Democrats. The Democrats don't have the power in this instance. The only power they do have is the leverage held over the heads of Republicans, again, with the list of demands, with the list of things that we need to see changed in order to even consider helping you guys fucking helping you guys dodge a bullet and avoiding a government shutdown. So I just wanted to kind of, get that out there, because I know we've had our strong opinions lately, especially with the last, the last time we had this similar situation where we all wanted Chuck Schumer to kind of step up, grab his balls and drop the hammer here and say that we're not afraid. We're not afraid to get our hands dirty. We're not afraid to get down and dirty to show you guys that we mean business. Right. And in this way, I do think that they have kind of learned a lesson, at least in the way that they're approaching this rhetorically and also with, demands. Right. Last time they didn't come out with any demands. The Republicans needed Schumer. They needed the Democrats. And Schumer did not use that leverage. He did not use that to the Democrats' benefit to get something in return. Right. You don't just give up your assistance. You don't just give up your votes for nothing in return. And I do believe that they have kind of found that out. They've kind of pinpointed and put their finger on it. And again, this isn't a total glowing praise or throwing flowers at them in its entirety of their leadership roles, right? This is just in this one instance. I want to give them credit where credit is due, and I think they're approaching this in the right way. And I know that a government shutdown is a scary thing. You don't know, especially where we'll probably look at a few clips where Trump is threatening to, release as many federal workers and do as much harm as humanly possible. Again, trying to scare Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries into kowtowing and giving their votes behind the Republicans to, again, help them avoid a government shutdown when, again, they are holding power of the presidency, the office of the presidency, the United States Senate, and the United States House, right? Not to mention the Supreme Court. So how you could possibly throw blame on Democrats in this when you guys have everything that you wanted, have all the power that you wanted, and then some, and still can't manage to get this government to stay open. All right. So let me see here. I don't think this is happening just yet in that live update. Sorry. Why don't we go into a couple of these first clips that I wanted to watch? This one was just a little update on the Trump sending troops into Portland, Oregon, what's happened since then, what kind of scenes we've been looking at, and what we can expect going on in the future here. So why don't we get into just a little bit of this article, a little bit of this news clip, and then we'll head on to Chicago, where obviously people are up in arms there as well. People are scared there as well. People are furious there as well. Just again, continuing to see this authoritarian push, this fascistic push by Donald Trump's regime, trying to accrue and use and abuse power in any way possible that they see fit. So what do you say we dive into this one? Thank you, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Again, I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics. We're just trying to give you the real facts here. We're just trying to bring you the news as we see it, without any sugarcoating, without any bullshit, trying to sift through the propaganda of the mainstream media, the bullshit and lies of the Republican Party and Donald Trump. And I hope that you guys enjoy your time here, at least in the chat. If not with me, at least in the chat. So I appreciate you guys. Hit that like button.
President Trump is sending troops to Portland, Oregon to clamp down on protests directed at ICE facilities. The president said that he authorized the use of full force if necessary.
Yeah, Oregon's governor, though, said that she told the president to stay out, saying, quote, "We do not need or want federal troops in the state."
KTLA's Chris Wolf joins us live now from Hollywood with more on this developing story. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening, Rick and Karine. It hasn't happened yet, and there is still no timeline for the arrival of federal troops in Portland. However, this news is already causing quite a stir.
Let me see. This was 2 days ago. Did they do the update? I thought this was the updated one. Let me see if I can find it here. Portland troops update. My apologies. I thought that was the latest update from that news organization. Let's see here. This was 12 hours ago, 13 hours ago. So why don't we do this one? See what updates this. My apologies on that.
200 National Guard troops are expected to be deployed at the ICE facility in South Portland after President Trump issued the order over the weekend. In response, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield has filed for a temporary restraining order to block the deployment as part of an ongoing lawsuit. And the decision on whether the restraining order is granted will be in the hands of a federal judge. In fact, a hearing on the restraining order is scheduled for this Friday. We spoke to Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Bomar with the Oregon National Guard, who says at least 200 members are expected to arrive in Portland as soon as Thursday. Bomar says that they'll be stationed in multiple areas, including outside the ICE facility.
The responsibility is to protect federal buildings and the employees that will be inside those. Just keep in mind, it's still us. It's your friendly neighborhood guard person. People are leaving.
Yeah, that's just how people think of you guys now. That's just the reputation that you guys have gotten all across this country so far, being used as political pawns, being used as political weapons to intimidate your own citizenry, to be used as, again, the violent political arm of the Trump administration, the Trump regime, to affect the tactics that the Trump administration itself can't go out and use the police to do. So what they're doing is using the National Guard, they're using ICE, they're using fucking Homeland Security and Border Patrol to do this, to do the intimidating, to provoke people in order to cause fear, or to use as justification more use of force.
Right now to help support this mission.
Bomar was also able to confirm that all of the members who are being deployed to Portland belong to the Oregon National Guard. And as you heard him say there, if troops do arrive in Portland this week...
Again, uninvited is the whole point there. You know what I mean? These people are uninvited. They're supposed to be invited. They're supposed to be fucking called upon by the governor of the state, requested by the governor of the state. And at this point in time, I think this goes on to even say that for the second time now, the governor said, listen, we don't want you.
Omar says that they will be solely focused on protecting federal property and federal employees. Portland is the latest city to be named in President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops. The Trump administration says the move is to curb violence, but faith leaders are pushing back against that narrative. Fox 12's Leslie Dominique attended an interfaith ceremony tonight where leaders stood in solidarity against the president's deployment. She joins us now live from outside the ICE facility in South
And
Portland.
there's a multitude of updates that you can watch on this, and you can see what is good to see. You know, a lot of peaceful people out there, a lot of vets, a lot of people from the federal government, a lot of fucking people that just care about their country out there with signs, out there protesting the arrival of the National Guard troops in every single one of these cities. Right. And the videos that these people and Fox News are trying to play is not exactly giving everybody this like horrific picture of what Antifa is supposed to be when you got just, you know, normal everyday citizens walking in a nice peaceful circle, chanting about fucking how ICE is a fascist, how ICE is now being used as the American Gestapo. Not causing any harm, right? Do you have the odd agitator out there? Do you have the people out there in the battle gear and the riot gear? Of course. You're always going to have those people that fucking love these situations and try to make the most of the best name for themselves in these situations. But the vast, overwhelming majority of the people that we've seen so far have been extremely peaceful, extremely passionate, and are out there day in and day out, walking in these lines, walking the picket lines, you know, fucking giving ICE a piece of their mind, giving these federal officers a piece of their mind. And I fucking commend every single one of them out there doing so. I really do. Which kind of brings us to, you know, the similar situation here in Chicago as well. You know, so here's ABC 7 Chicago giving just a little update on what's been going on there as well. So what do you say we take a look at this?
Karen, and it was all caught on camera. Governor J.B. Pritzker calling today's federal operations a, quote, show of intimidation, saying that we cannot normalize militarizing American cities and suburbs. This as a Department of Homeland Security saying it will not back down until law and order is restored.
Bro, they taking people.
Federal agents captured on camera near Millennium Park.
Yeah, they took a family.
Those agents appeared to detain a woman and multiple children. We blurred the children's faces in the video. In River North, outside Catholic Charities, agents seen detaining another man. These are part of many sightings of Border Patrol agents throughout downtown Chicago on Sunday, seen patrolling on foot and by boat along the Chicago River.
It's a lot of places that can use some armor and some help, and I'm pretty sure walking down the street of Michigan Avenue is not the place for that type of armor.
Lawmakers and community leaders sounding off.
They showed up downtown.
Boats, tanks, armored personnel carriers, fucking groups of 20 to 30 fucking military, you know, National Guardsmen fucking walking down the street, just rounding up anybody, right? I mean, this is America 2025, ladies and gentlemen. America 2025 by boat. What was the other one? What they got? Armored personnel carriers. They got those out yet?
Some armor and some help. And
downtown to indiscriminately continue to profile against people just because of what they look like.
How dare you? This is our city. This is our state. This is our country. This is our home.
Now vowing to mobilize and protect against what they call fear and intimidation tactics.
We don't have any other choice but to continue to organize, to continue to stand together, and continue to fight to protect our communities.
The Trump administration making its own vow. The Department of Homeland Security posting to social media saying in part, DHS under Secretary Noem will not back down. We will not rest until every violent terrorist thug is arrested.
So then how come you're not arresting the violent terrorist thugs? Why are we not seeing this fucking whole horde of violent terrorist thugs that have been deported, that have been arrested, that have been rounded up? Where are these fucking, these gang hideouts? Where are these fucking, these where's the lion's den that you guys are going into? This doesn't seem like the lion's den. Seems like you're walking up and down nice fucking peaceful neighborhoods or parts of these fucking neighborhoods where people are just kind of sitting out on their porches and you just seem to be rounding them up, or you're going through Home Depot parking lots, or you're going through Lowe's parking lots, or you're just kind of, taking the woman and the family that is selling stuff on the side of the road trying to make a buck. Because so far, the overwhelming majority of people, at least reported by the media, have minimal to no criminal record, right? Not to mention the pregnant women we've seen beat up. Not to mention the fucking parents of active duty fucking service members that we've seen beat up. Not to mention the actual U.S. citizens themselves born in the United States rounded up, thrown to the ground, detained for days or weeks. Where are these fucking terrorists? Where are the bad guys that we're seeing? Where are these fucking murderers and people that have killed 20, 30 people, like you've said? Because I don't see those people being rounded up. That's not who I'm seeing being rounded up. That's not who the American public is seeing being rounded up on a daily basis. I see fucking women being thrown in hallways, right? I see children being separated because they're distraught that their father was removed from a courtroom procession illegally or otherwise. Like I'm not seeing this ramp up and fucking total removal of every gangbanger, fucking terrorist, murderer, rapist, like they fucking claim is what's going on. That's not what we're seeing.
President Trump and Secretary Noem will return law and order to our streets. But Chicago's mayor posting on X, this is another brazen provocation from the Trump administration that does nothing to make our city safer.
And then what is the plan ultimately? Are we just gonna, in perpetuity have our National Guard and military roam in the streets, or do you think once the troops leave, that whatever situation was happening before that is probably going to return to that similar situation? Like, are we thinking that we're just gonna pay the National Guard and our military to stay in our cities perpetually? For the rest of our lives, for the rest of time, in order to keep peace? Or do you think, just a couple weeks there, a couple months there is going to have so much effect on the population, so much effect on these cities that even when these fucking Gestapo troops leave, that everybody's just going to be so fucking scared and fucking kowtowed into behaving that it's not even going to be necessary anymore? Is that actually what we think is going to happen? Because it sounds like a pretty crazy way to go about thinking, if you ask me. And, speaking of crazy ways of thinking, speaking of ridiculous acts, that kind of brings us to our next story here, which is this just moronic fucking speech, moronic meeting that Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump found it necessary to have, again, bring in roughly 900 of our highest ranking military officers, generals, fucking you name it, and they were there. Again, removing them from their posts, removing them from their current duties, removing them from their current investigations, their current deployments, their current attacks, whatever the hell that they were currently working on. That has now been put on hold for this meeting, which everybody had a lot of speculation about. People were speculating if it meant we're going to war, if they were being forced to take an oath to the president or Pete Hegseth themselves, when really it just seems like a bunch of bullshit. It seems like they called 900 of our smartest, most effective, and brightest military fucking officers into one room so they could tell them that they don't want them to be fat, right? So that he could talk about the warrior ethos for fucking 6 hours to people that are fucking far more knowledgeable, far more capable, right? Hold probably higher ranks than he's ever definitely hold higher ranks than he's ever held. That's 100% sure. No maybes, ifs, ands, or buts, right? Hold higher ranks than Pete Hegseth has ever held himself. And he's on stage trying to tell them how to fucking conduct themselves militarily, professionally. The same drunk, alcoholic piece of shit, credibly accused of assaulting women, cheating on his wife, being drunk at work, couldn't make the weekday couch because he was such a fucking drunk, alcoholic womanizer that they fucking stuck him on the Saturday and Sunday couch and wouldn't let his ass up. That's the guy that is going to be telling these fucking career military officers how they should be handling themselves, doing their jobs, what kind of warrior ethos they should be fucking following. Bullshit. Bullshit. So let me just see. I don't know if this is Pete Hegseth on here right now. Let me just see what part I stopped this at.
They are prepared to listen to their command moments.
All right, so that's just the RSBN clip. But you got Pete Hegseth spoke here, right? Like an idiot. Decided to do his little, his spiel, waltzing around the stage like he's at some fucking, what are those people? The life coach, like he's a life coach, right? When everybody else said spoke behind the podium, but nope, not Pete. He had to get up and waltz around here. Right? Check this out.
Join me in welcoming the 45th and 47th.
Did he get up yet?
President of the United States, our Commander-in-Chief, Donald J. Trump.
RSBN cut him off. RSBN cut him off. This must be the video. They must have made a video about it and only did what Trump said. Yeah, no, not going to have that happen. Not going to have that happen. All right, let's see. Right. There you go.
And look at you, just incredible people. Central casting, I might add.
Jesus
Represent the
Christ.
greatest and most elite fighting force in the history of the world, the United States military. We're very proud of our military. I rebuilt the military during my first term. It's one of the
Imagine that. Imagine trying to fucking actually get it over in a room full of, again, career military fucking generals at the highest levels of our military in each of the branches of the armed forces, and actually trying to get them to believe, actually trying to put that fucking bullshit line over on them that he rebuilt the entire military, right? The people that are literally responsible for overseeing the military, overseeing the equipment, overseeing the troops. And this guy's literally trying to pass that bullshit fucking propaganda talking point over on them.
greatest achievements. We had the greatest economy in history, and I built the military. Those are the two things I say more than anything else. And I also kept us safe at the borders. We had very good borders. We didn't have people coming in from jails and prisons and everything like took place over the last 4 years.
Yeah, this seems necessary. This seems totally, so far seems totally necessary to have pulled almost 900 of our highest ranking military members away from their bases, posts, and fucking, ranks. And they're just to come here and listen to Donald Trump talk about borders and how he rebuilt the military. Like, what is this? What is this?
What happened to this country over the last 4 years with the incompetence? There could be no higher honor than to serve as your commander-in-chief. It is a great honor. I look at you, just incredible people.
Man, he sounds like shit. He's slowed down a lot, huh? I'm going to have to speed this up. We'll be here till fucking next Tuesday. Play that at real speed. Just a little bit. Holy good God.
Yeah. To each and every one of you, I thank you for your unwavering devotion to the armed forces and to the country. We've all sworn a sacred oath to defend. We all have that oath, everyone.
Well, no, you signed an oath after several deferments, right? I'm going to go ahead and guess that nobody in that audience right now received the number of deferments that you did in order to get out of active military service, and then went on to try to claim that he's like worthy of the fucking Medal of Honor, and all of a sudden is like George fucking Patton because he, again, somehow schemed his way into the White House. But again, these people are not buying it. I want you to fucking understand right now that if he's outclassed and outmatched in any fucking room in the world right now, this is the fucking room. This is the room where he is below par mentally, below par fucking educationally. Like, he is just far below par for everybody in that room. There's no way he's getting one over on these people.
I'm thrilled to be here this morning to address the senior leadership of what is once again known around the world.
Oh my God, I can't do it. All right, I can't do it. I can't do it. Let's just go through. We'll go through some clips. Jesus Christ. I just can't even bear to listen to that guy fucking drone and moan on anymore. So I know look at this. There's a shitload of clips that we can go. Through. I mean, check this out, right? So there's no shortage. So what do you say? I don't subject you to the nonsensical, boring parts of that. Just know that every single word that came out of his mouth, every single word that he uttered was bullshit, was propaganda, was lies, was incorrect, unfactual, mis and disinformation. So as long as we get that out there, and you know that every word uttered by that asshole and Pete Hegseth was an outright lie, a waste of time, and nothing really fucking important, then, once we get by that, then I think it's okay to start hammering away at these clips. But let's just go through them and see what moronic fucking statements were made to, again, our highest ranking military officers in this country.
I've never walked into a room.
Oh, for crying out loud. Could that be any quieter? Fucking Twitter.
So silent before. This is very, don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do...
Fuck, I hate how this is so goddamn quiet. So this is Trump on changing the name. Oh, yeah, there he goes. Yep. He's trying to get everybody to believe that now that he changed the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War, that, this means something to the generals. I don't know what he gets here.
Didn't it used to be called the Department of War? And he goes, yes, sir. They changed it like in the early 50s. So we won the First World War, We won the Second World War. We won everything in between and everything before that.
That's debatable. That's debatable. I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest we have not won every war in between World War II and current day, right? I think there's a lot to suggest that we've actually gotten our ass handed to us in a few of those instances. You know, none that we love to talk about, but to suggest that we're undefeated is a bit phony, especially, again, talking to the people that were probably engaged in those conflicts, engaged in those fucking battles, engaged in those deployments.
We only won. And then we went, in a way, woke. That was probably the first sign of wokeness. And we changed it to defense instead of war. And I said,
So again, this is the warrior ethos, anti-woke speech, right? This is call the generals in to let them know that we've killed woke, to let them know that, you know, we're no longer going to be following the same playbook that, again, made us the world's largest superpower, that gave us the strongest military on the face of the planet. We're going to somehow change all that around because Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth know better.
what do you think? How do you think if we changed it back? Would that be a nice idea? And Pete loved it immediately. Some people thought about it, you know.
All right, so that's fucking useless banter there. Trump speaking to the military leads on Democrats. They're bad, a lot of bad people. Again, just what you want to hear from the president of the United States when talking to, again, people he does not know their political affiliation.
They've been after me for so many years now. Here we are. Here we are. Come to the White House anytime you'd like. No, they've given up. They're bad, a lot of bad people. But all over, that's been so popular. It's been very popular. I really thought that we were going to have to sort of fight it through. There's been no fight. There's been no fight. Like when I called the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America, because to me,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, guys, can you come halfway around the world? I know you're leaving your troops. I know you're leaving your post. I know it's a huge inconvenience, and it's probably something that, you know, is ridiculous to do. Just, you know, in the event of an accident, we probably don't want all of our generals in the same fucking place at the same time, just as a matter of precaution. But anyways, I'm just going to bring you here, and what we're going to talk about is woke. We're going to talk about borders. We're going to talk about how evil Democrats are, and then yeah, what about you like that whole the Department of War, right? That was good. That was good. That was a good thing. It was good. What else did we want to bring here? Anything else that we wanted to bring him here and talk about? It's like, what?
it was always
How's these generals that be like, I fucking came for this? I left my post halfway around the world for this? Like, what?
Of America. I could never understand. We have 92% of the frontage. And
92% of the frontage. Did you guys catch that one? Do you guys know what 92% of the frontage is? Because I don't.
Gulf of America, the Gulf of America, because to me it was always the Gulf of America. I could never understand. We have 92% of the frontage.
What? We got 92% of the frontage. What the fuck is frontage?
And for years, actually 350 years, they were there before us. It was called the Gulf of Mexico. I just had to say, they've been.
Jesus Christ. You know, there's fucking 900 generals in the audience like, oh my fucking God. Like, this guy has his fucking finger on the fucking button. This guy's got the football. This guy's got the codes. We're in some fucking shit now, baby. What's this one? 2 minutes into a speech to military leaders, Trump is ranting about renaming the Gulf of America. We saw that one. Trump says, we were a little bit threatened by Russia. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Does he know something that we weren't? Were we actively threatened by Russia? Let's go.
We were a little bit threatened by Russia recently. And I sent a submarine, nuclear submarine.
Jesus Christ.
The most lethal weapon ever made.
Now, what is the purpose of a nuclear submarine, right? Like, what is the purpose of a stealthy attack nuclear submarine? Like, so that they can fucking, you know, they can roam the globe. They can go all over the place. They can be anywhere and everywhere, and you wouldn't know, right? So why is the fucking commander-in-chief, as he's speaking to 900 of our military generals, now talking about how he sent nuclear submarines into different areas? Like, isn't that something we should probably keep hush-hush, right? Like, isn't that something we don't want out there? Like, we don't want them knowing our tactics. We don't want them knowing that, hey, if they were to do this, then we're going to do this. Because if they know that if they do this and then we do this, they also know what they can do to fucking counteract what we do. Right? Like, it's just beyond ridiculous to be like, yeah, I sent a couple nuclear submarines off to the fucking coast of Russia, just to be safe. It's like, what? Like, that's the we don't say that out loud. It's like, those are things that are talked about in back rooms typically. Where we're sending our nuclear fucking submarine arsenal is typically not fucking pinpointed and blasted out all over the fucking news. Anybody? I don't know.
Number one, you can't detect it. There's no way. We're 20.
No, you can't detect it unless the president of the United States goes on television to tell you exactly where the fuck it is. You hear him? Listen. He says you can't detect it. You can't detect it, right?
Never made.
Listen.
Number one, you can't detect it. There's no way. We're 25 years.
You can't detect it again unless it's pinpointed until and the president of the United States comes on fucking television to tell Russia exactly where he sent it. Probably the only way that could fail. I bet you the fucking designers of the fucking stealthy nuclear submarines didn't have that in mind. Oh, man, no one's going to see this thing. The propeller washer on it's so quiet. It can stay underwater for so long. Doesn't have to come up to recharge its batteries and do this and do that. But again, that could be all fucking wiped away. None of that really matters if the president of the United States comes on and says, yes, what we did was we sent several nuclear attack submarines to the coast of Russia. Like, Jesus Christ.
Ahead.
That's like being like, yeah, we sent a bunch of Navy SEALs to bin Laden's house 2 weeks before we did it. It's like, you might want to wait. You might maybe want to wait on that one.
Of Russia and China in submarines. Russia's actually second in submarines. China's third, but
Russia's second in submarines. You guys want to see something about? Here you go. Here you go. Speaking of Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and Putin's Russian submarines. Let's see if we can pull this up. So again, Donald Trump just cannot help himself but to, again, he just the other day called Russia a paper tiger, right? Just the other day on Truth Social, we read it here a bunch of times, basically gave tacit permission to Ukraine to take over Russian territory if they see that to be the correct move, if they see that to be just, right? But, in that same article, but this is the Novorossiysk, right? This is a Russian submarine that is having a little bit of an issue. Russian submarine, the Novorossiysk, reportedly experienced a serious incident in the Mediterranean, and this goes along with a few other incidents that we've seen from other Russian submarines. I believe, I forget now, was it a Chinese submarine or a Russian submarine that just sank right at the dock? Might have been a Chinese submarine. But again, to laud Russia and China as second and third in place of submarines and not kind of accurately calling out just how far behind they are, then it's pretty egregious and pretty stupid and gives the wrong impression on the world stage to just how powerful and strong these other fucking navies are without calling out the factual nature of how they're being run. So let me say just a couple seconds of this. I'll even speed it up a little bit, but this just gives a little insight into the problems faced by this Russian submarine. I believe they're leaking fuel, which is never a good thing on a nuclear submarine. And again, I'm not sure. Is this even a nuclear sub? I can't even be sure. Most of them are diesel, so I would assume it to be a diesel sub. Sources: fuels leaking from the 242-foot vessel, potentially creating an explosive hazard.
The information coming in, this is what's called an attack submarine, diesel powered, not nuclear powered.
Diesel, got it.
Quite a large vessel, I think about 50, maybe 60 sailors on board. It's part of the Russian sort of submarine fleet, maritime fleet. We know that the British Navy tracked it going through the channel probably a couple of months ago, the English Channel, that is. Then it went round through Gibraltar, where it would have been tracked again, going through the Straits of Gibraltar. And then in the last few
Again,
days,
just so everybody knows, what you don't want Russia to be able to do to our submarines. Like there's a reason why diesel-powered subs aren't the best anymore, typically because they're a lot louder, they're a lot easier tracked, and with like the U.S. and the NATO array of sonar buoys that we have spread out throughout the fucking world's oceans, it's very easy for us to track, again, the louder of the submarines. So when the nuclear-powered subs are underwater, they're a lot more difficult to detect, which gives us a huge advantage. But that advantage goes away real quick when the president of the United States says, "Hey, our submarines are off the coast of Russia." Just so you know, it's like that whole cloak of invincibility, cloak of invisibility, kind of goes away, and then it kind of gives Russia a good fucking starting point to look at least. Narrows it down a bit when the president of the United States comes out while speaking to our generals, every single one of our generals, and tells them where the fuck he sent the subs. I don't know. Just a thought.
Russian telegram channels have been describing various accidents or
I love this too. I love that it's the Russian telegram channels that are actively giving away information about their own submarines too. Perfect. Beautiful. Just like you'd expect from Russia. Absolute fucking security on all of their missions. Right? So this is why we hear like Solivov and what's her other name? The lady that was just diagnosed with cancer there, the other RT lady, I forget her name now, I'm blanking on her name. But this is why we hear them get so upset at the Russian citizens who are actively putting this stuff on social media, actively posting videos of the oil refinery explosions, of the gas lines, of the lack of gas, right? That's why they're pissed off. They're not pissed off at their own military. They're not pissed off at their own government for either getting them into this position or the lack of security that they can afford their citizens. Again, Ukraine striking pretty much at will through Russian air defenses at these oil refineries, at least over the last month, 2 months, right? So the funny thing is that they're pissed at their own citizens for kind of putting this out there for the world to see and giving everybody, clear evidence to suggest that, the Ukrainian, counterattacks on the oil refineries, on oil gas and those things have been working, are effective. Same thing with this shit, right? So the world would probably never know, or it would take them a lot longer to figure it out or find out that they ever had a problem on one of their fucking diesel-powered subs if it weren't for Telegram and the people and the Russian sailors on these submarines, the submariners on these submarines, actively posting stories about the military, actively posting stories and pictures about the subs that they're on. And those are getting out because those channels are actively monitored by people, by media, by Ukrainians, by governments, right? So it's fucking, it's awesome. It is. It's a fucking sight to behold that they can't even, just think of what would happen, right? Think of what's an example? What was that? The idiot in Massachusetts. What was the idiot there in Massachusetts that got caught, posting military secrets on whatever fucking forum that was, right? Just think of the swift action that was taken against that kid. What was the situation there? I forget. It was in Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken, where the kid was going on like his gaming forums and sharing pictures of, documents, classified documents and shit. Like, just think how quick and how fucking swift the justice was there. Right? And what they're dealing with. Was it Discord, Alyosha? It could have been. I think you're right. But I think it was like, I forget now. You're probably more tuned into it than I am, so I'm not going to dispute anything that you guys say. Was it Tech Share? That sounds familiar, Mark. That sounds familiar. Yep. That sounds familiar. But wasn't it in Massachusetts? Like, wasn't he on a Massachusetts base? Maybe he wasn't from Massachusetts, but wasn't he on a Massachusetts base, if I'm not mistaken? Because some people are saying Virginia. I could be mistaken. Like I said, it's a while ago. A lot of stuff happens. It's tough to keep the facts separated on all these stories. Sometimes they kind of blend together. Yes, Paul. Yes, down the Cape, Boston. I think he was maybe 21, something like that. Right. So just an example, just kind of like, to refresh your memory on the swift action obviously taken by the United States military if any secrets, classified information are leaked out there. Right. When all that seemingly all the Russians can do is send Vladimir fucking Solivov on the Russian state media there to kind of shame his own people, his own citizenry into not fucking posting this shit, and it's just not working. It's just not working.
With the submarine, we understand there's a problem with the fuel. there's a concern that there could be some sort of explosive nature.
You think? Fuel, diesel-powered sub, missiles, ammunition, torpedoes. I'm just saying, probably not. It's probably a recipe for disaster. Not like sub being a submariner isn't dangerous enough when everything's fucking working correctly. When everything's operating 100%. Like it's fucking there's enough danger involved in that job as it is inherently, without then again bringing in this U571 type of K-19 bullshit, right? Have anybody seen K-19, the Widowmaker with Harrison Ford, and they have the nuclear reactor has a leak, and they have to do what they can, again, somewhat based off of a true story, kind of loosely based off a true story there of the Red October. But I just wanted to kind of show you that as Donald Trump's once again touting Vladimir Putin's navy, Vladimir Putin's ability as a military commander. He just can't help himself. He can't help himself. So let's just see here. Which one of these? What did I leave off on? I left off on this one, I think. Let's see here.
They're coming up. They're coming up. They're way too lower in nuclear too, but in 5 years they'll be equal. They're coming up. There's another one of
that's another one of Benjamin Netanyahu's strong talking points. So his the plan that he uses. Everybody's going to have a nuke in 5 years. As long as you say everybody's going to have a nuke in 5 seconds or 5 years, then you can pretty much get away with anything that you want. Oh yeah, here's the one where Donald Trump tells the generals not to use the N-word after he already used it.
And it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved.
He just said it. Just said it.
A submarine or two. I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia.
Said it again.
Be careful.
A submarine or two. I won't tell you about the two, he says.
We can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N word. There are two N words, and you can't use either of them.
Jesus Christ. It is just fucking, it doesn't get any more embarrassing than that. It does not get any more embarrassing than that. People that spent their entire fucking lives getting to the position that they now hold, dedicating, sacrificing, bleeding, sweating, cold nights, hot nights, in water, fly fucking bug-infested swamps, not seeing their families, missing their kids' fucking recitals, probably missing their kids' fucking births, not being able to have the relationship that they fucking want with their wives because of the amount of time that they're separated from them. And they're fucking gonna listen to this guy talk about the N-word? Like, does he honestly think there's no, I don't know, people of color, black people in the fucking in that audience right now? Jesus.
Can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it was real.
Jesus Christ, people. I mean, just every single one of these is more embarrassing. Trump to the generals. Now, listen to this. See if you can make fucking heads or tails out of this. We want war because we want to have no wars. Opening statement of this clip. Opening statement of this clip. Knocking it out of the park, straight out of the gates here, ladies and gentlemen. We want war because we want no wars. All right, let's see if it makes more sense if you hear him say it instead of just reading it.
When we go with the word war, and we want war because we want to have no wars, but you have to be there, and sometimes you have to do it. I have settled so many wars since we're here. We're here almost 9 months, and I've settled 7, and yesterday I might have settled.
Who does he think he's fooling? He didn't fool me on blunt fucking politics. Some fucking ex-plumber schmuck who decided it to be, an important fucking duty enough to start his own political commentary show to make sure that fucking people aren't being lied to make sure that he can represent the facts as he sees fit. Didn't fool me. These 7, 8, 9 wars that he ended. We accurately and somehow in our fucking dumbass nature being a liberal, a lefty, a progressive, whatever he wants to call us here, somehow found the articles that gave us the proof that you have not ended those fucking wars yet, as much as you claim to have done so. But you think somehow couldn't get it over on me, couldn't get it over on the Blunt Politics chat, couldn't get it over on fucking any one of a multitude of any other fucking lefty creators on this space. But you think the 900 careerist military members in front of you are going to buy with the fucking classified knowledge that they have, with the detailed knowledge that they have, that you ended these? Oh, wowzers. I wish I was a fly on the wall and any one of the rooms that these fucking military members were gathering in after this, right? Just let me be a fly on the brass. Let me sit on those fucking bars on your shoulders for 2 seconds so I can just get like an accurate depiction of what you actually thought of this fucking man's speech and his mental capabilities and the fact that he is now commander-in-chief again of the armed forces and has his finger on the nuclear trigger. I'd love to know what they had to say, because obviously you're not going to get their true feelings. You're not going to get what they really think, even if asked by reporters or, even if asked for a comment or whatever. You're not going to get it, right? But I would just a fly on the shoulders. Just give me fucking 1 minute in that room.
The biggest of them all, although I don't know. Pakistan, India was very big. Both nuclear powers, I settled that. But yesterday could be the settlement in the Middle East. That hasn't happened for 3.
Hold on. All right. So just so I can, because it might not have been people here when we did it. There might not have been people here. Let's see here. There you go. There's one. Fact focus. Trump repeats false claim at UN that he has ended 7 wars. That doesn't take long, right? Doesn't take long. And there's fucking, you can go Israel and Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Pakistan, Serbia, Kosovo, Rwanda and the Congo. I mean, it goes by list them all. Armenia, Azerbaijan, Cambodia, Thailand. And tells you exactly what still needs to happen, what hasn't been agreed upon, or if there is still active conflict going on in these fucking regions, which in a few of them, there absolutely are. In a lot of them, there are deals that are absolutely never going to be agreed upon because of one outrageous ask or because of another outrageous ask that have been on the table for years, and they're no closer to getting to an actual fucking peace, right? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. 2 seconds. 2 seconds of research. And again, AP. You don't like the AP, you can go to, let's see here. Let's see. CNN's got one. NBC6 has got one. USA News and World Report has got one. PolitiFact has got one. Tshow has got one. ABC News has got one. Let's see here. Who else? I mean, if in case you need more, there, if you don't trust the AP, or if if CNN is too liberal, or you don't trust them either, maybe you'll like the UN News, and if you don't like them, maybe again you'll like the US News and World Report. If you don't like them, maybe you'll like PolitiFact. If you don't like them, maybe you'll like Tshow. If you don't like them, maybe you'll like fucking what they put on ABC. It's like, how many times do we need to fucking come up and disprove this statement again? And he tries to again pass it along on to the generals. I hope I can fucking impress upon you how ridiculous that is. Like, just think of the knowledge in this room right now. Just think of the capabilities in this room right now. And then you get Donald Trump up there like, hey, I ended 7 fucking wars up here. I know you guys know, but I ended 7 wars, and Gaza's next, and Ukraine. It's not Ukraine's gonna be easy, but I sent submarines. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like fucking led by Pee Wee Herman if he was orange and old and shit his pants every day.
1,000 years. I said, how long have you been fighting? 3,000 years, sir. That's a long time.
It is. It's a long time. It's a long time for a country that was, thought of in 1948 to be fighting. It's a long time. How Israel has managed to fight for 3,000 years is a great question. We're gonna have to ask Donald Trump that one as well. How is it that Israel, a state, a country created in this year, has been fighting for 3,000? Please do explain.
but we got it, I think, settled. We'll see. Hamas has to agree.
And that's, again, we're going to cover, obviously, his ridiculous proposal. But, as RSB would have you believe before that speech, before the announcement, before his meeting with Netanyahu there, who, again, somehow, how the fuck is Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington, D.C. more than our fucking active politicians? This motherfucker's in D.C. more than a D.C. cab driver. Guy spends more time in the United States than fucking half of his ambassadors. The fuck's he here again for? But again, if you were listening to any of the right-wing propaganda outlets, they literally were calling this peace. They were calling it that, Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu were coming out to announce peace when that was the furthest thing that happened. That's not what happened, right? But we'll get into that. Let's see if there's a few more. I know there's a few more here. There's a ton of clips from this one. Let's see here. We have beautiful. Yep, here you go. I mean, if there was any reason to, again, take our highest ranking military members off of their active duty assignments and away from their troops and away from their command, it's so that Donald Trump can talk about the paper that the United States uses.
Beautiful paper, the gorgeous paper. I said, throw a little more gold on it. They deserve it. I want the A paper, not the D paper. We used to sign a piece of garbage. I said, this man's going to be a general, right? Yeah. I don't want to use this. I want to use the big, beautiful, firm paper. I want to use the real gold writing when you talk about the position, and they're beautiful. And, but how would you like to have that where some kid sitting in the back office is having it signed with an auto pen? I thought about it, and I thought about you people first, admirals, generals. I said, so beautiful paper, the gorgeous.
Jesus fucking Christ almighty. Are you serious? Excuse me, Admiral. Excuse me, General. Yeah. Yeah. Could you take a 14.5-hour flight, a couple fucking smaller plane rides, a puddle jumper, a taxi and 14 Ubers to get to, we're going to have this really important meeting. Oh yeah. What's on the agenda? What's on the topic there? Well, you and 900 other admirals and generals are going to be in the same place at the same time. So, God forbid if any one of our enemies were to know about this, which is why it was widely reported, then probably could be a bad fucking bad situation. Luckily, none of that happened. But just so you know, on the agenda is going to be Donald Trump, the commander of the armed forces, is going to tell everybody where our nuclear submarines are, right? So that's probably going to be first. He's going to talk about the auto pen. The auto pen is going to be huge. We're going to talk about borders, right? We're going to talk about borders. We're going to talk about how Democrats are fucking demons. And then you're going to love this. The pièce de résistance, the reason of why you are here is Donald Trump just cannot, he doesn't like the paper. He wants you to sign different paper. He wants more gold on the paper. Oh, again, this is why I would fucking just love to be a fly in the wall. Like just a fucking tissue in the fucking suitcase, a tissue in the briefcase of some of these admirals and generals and what they thought leaving this. I would pay lots of money for that.
Paper. I said, throw a little more gold on it. They deserve.
Jesus Christ. We have beautiful paper, the gorgeous paper. Throw a little more gold on it. They deserve it. I want the A paper, not the D paper. We used to sign a piece of garbage. Jesus Christ. Okay. Nope. Oh, all right. Nope. Can't miss this one. This is where he tells the generals and the admirals he loves his signature.
The President of the United States signs your commission, as you know, and that commission is beautifully displayed. And I sign it. Actually, I love my signature.
I sign it. I did sign it.
I really do. Everyone loves my signature.
Yeah. The best time I've seen your signature is this. Hold on, let me see. Let's see here. This is his best signature yet, ladies and gentlemen. Best signature yet. In case you're unfamiliar with Donald Trump's signature. Just want to refresh your memory. Here, let me jog your memory. This is Donald Trump's signature here, ladies and gentlemen. This is, again, people love his signature so much so that he actually decided to use it as faux pubic hair for a prepubescent body, apparently. But people love his signature. Apparently, him so much that he loves putting it all over the place. So, Not my fault he brought up his signature. It's kind of his.
But I signed it very proudly. And I always think to myself, how can you have an auto pen sign this? It's just so disrespectful. To me, it's
The auto pen. Oh. Okay, he's talking about the Prime Minister of Pakistan. This ought to be good. I'm sure this wasn't disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. Let's see what he had to say here.
And we stopped it. It was a great thing. And the Prime Minister of Pakistan was here along with the Field Marshal, who's a very important guy in Pakistan. And he was here 3 days ago. And I didn't even realize it as beautiful as he said it, but he said that to a group of people that were with us.
Hold on, let me guess. Did he say that the United States was the hottest country? There's never been a country hotter than the United States. Is that what he said? Let me guess.
2 generals, but a group. He said this man saved millions of lives because he saved the war from going on. And that war was going to get very bad, very, very bad. President Trump saved millions and millions of lives. That was a bad.
Do you have that on tape? Oh, you killed me. He's trying to kill me. He's actively trying to take me out. He's actively trying to take me out. Oh. I remind you that he's not fucking talking to a MAGA rally. Like, he's not talking to his fucking MAGA chumps all sitting there with fucking Donald Trump was right about everything hats. Oh.
War. And I was very honored. I loved the way he said it. Susie Wild.
Speak up.
Was there. She said that was the most beautiful thing.
Susie Wild said some beautiful things. Auto pen Joe Biden.
He sounds more like Joe Biden every fucking day. All right. Oh, here we go. Couldn't get through it without talking about the Nobel Peace Prize, ladies and gentlemen. Couldn't get through it. Here we go.
Saved a lot of them. Even in Africa, we saved the Congo.
What do you mean, even in Africa? Well, now, what is that turn of phrase supposed to mean? Even in Africa. Just curious the way you put that, really.
Rwanda. They've been fighting for 31 years, 10 million people dead. I got that one done. And very proud of it. So if this works out, we'll have 8 in 8 months. That's pretty good. Nobody's ever done that.
Still never been done because it's never been done.
Will you get the Nobel Prize? Absolutely not. They'll give it to someone.
Did he just ask himself? Did he just ask himself if he was going to get the Nobel Peace Prize so he could give an answer himself? Oh, holy sociopathic, psycho-fucking-pathic son of a bitch. Let me ask myself the question so I can go on and answer that question. Holy shit.
Some guy that didn't do a damn thing. They'll give it to a guy that wrote a book about the mind of Donald Trump and what it took to solve the wars. And he'll get the Nobel Prize will go to a writer. No, but well, let's see what happens. But it's be a big insult to our country. I will tell you that. I don't want
it. Would be a huge insult to our country if you were even fucking thought about, if your name was even suggested in the list of people that were eligible or, you know, should receive the Nobel Peace Prize. It would be an incredible embarrassment, almost embarrassing as, you know, the commander-in-chief talking about where our nuclear submarines are, talking about, I don't know, the thickness of the fucking paper that he signs. You know, almost that embarrassing.
I want the country to get it. It should get it because there's never been anything like it. Think of it. So if this happens, I think it will. I don't say that lightly because I know more about deals than anybody. This is what my whole life was based on.
Some would say bankruptcy, but, you know, deals, bankruptcy, kind of same thing to you rich pricks anyway. All right, let's see if we can move on. I know that's, let's see here. Let's see here. What else do we got? Well, there are a bunch more. Let's see. There, look at all this. Look at all this. Look at all this. Jesus H. Christ. So obviously we're not going to go through all of it. I'll just kind of pick one or two more there and we'll hop on to our next story because I think you guys kind of get the idea here. And then I really want to hear what Tim Pool has to say. I'm dying to hear if he's got any like inside knowledge as to whether or not, Pete Hegseth is kind of ramping up things against Russia. or if Donald Trump is ramping up against things, ramping things up against Russia. I don't know. Tim Pool seems to think so. So let's just see if there's anything else that stands out. Brags to the military about the strikes on the boats. Executive orders. Trump declares war on Americans. Okay, let's see if we can figure out here. That's always good when the president declares war on Americans. Let's see what that is.
But these service members are following in a great and storied military tradition, from protecting frontier communities to chasing outlaws and bandits in the Wild West. And our history is filled with military heroes who...
I'm sorry, what? Are you trying to compare 2025 to the Wild fucking West and like when the cavalry used to have to go, what? I don't know, fight India? What are we talking about?
Took on all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know that phrase very well. That's what the oath says, foreign and domestic. Well, we
What oath would that be? What oath was that says that? Just curious.
also have domestic. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Grover Cleveland, George Bush, and others all used the armed forces to keep domestic order and peace. Many of our leaders used the military to keep peace. Now they like to say, oh, you're not allowed to use the military. And you know what the people say? The people in those cities where they're being raped and shot and beat up, you know what they say? We love the military. You ever see where they interview the people on the street? I've never seen somebody say they don't, unless they're radical and paid off, because a lot of these insurrectionists are paid.
Which, again, you say every single one of the people out in the street protesting are. So which one is it? Are they out there loving the people that you're sending out there with fucking weapons on their hips just to stand around and do jack shit? Or, again, are these radicalized thugs out there trying to gain access into the facilities, which is, again, why the justification you used to send these troops in to begin with. So which one is it? Do they love the troops? Do they love them in the cities? Or are they radicalized thugs that should be beat up and fucking, any force whatsoever can be used against them? Because it seems like you can't have it both ways in this situation, as you often try to do.
Whether it's Soros or other people.
Jesus Christ. And again, I remind everybody that the actual domestic threat that we faced and was brought to light was the fact that the FBI and multiple law enforcement agencies taught us, learned us, schooled us, informed us that white Christian nationalists, fucking white supremacy groups, the Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, 3%ers, Boogaloo Boys, were the biggest domestic threat that we now face in this country. Again, every single one of those groups is a follower and backer of Donald Trump and the Republican Party. So, again, if you want to talk about domestic threats, we got one in the White House. So you want to talk about domestic threats, we got a whole fucking political party that you could look at that is the domestic threat to this fucking country. That is an existential threat to this country. That is all about stochastic terrorism. So, again, there's, like I showed you, there's a multitude of fucking clips from that if you want to go check out the rest of that bullshit. But, again, I'm not going to subject you to... Yeah, just one more. We'll do this one more because I think this is a pretty important clip from this. This is where he, again, brings up the domestic enemy, calls the America is under invasion from an enemy within, which is, again, I don't even know. This post says it's fascism 101. Keith Edwards says this is fascism, and they're 100% right. I don't know if it's 101, but it's definitely a tactic used by authoritarians and dictators and fascists in the past to, again, this is the Reichstag moment, another Reichstag moment. Look, we're under attack, we're under invasion, we're under threat, and because of the threat that we now face, I need more powers. I need, we need to halt and suspend the Constitution so that we can take the appropriate and immediate action, right? Same thing that fucking Hitler did. When you get in power democratically, and then you can use these little situations in order to accrue more and more power, then it's tough people to say, hey, well, he was elected democratically, and then fucking, we have this existential threat, but is the threat real, or is it bullshit, made up propaganda to be used by the authoritarians and the fascists to, again, to be used as a reason or a justification to get more and more power under their belt? So let's just see what he's got to say in this fucking one.
That's what it is. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms.
So he's talking about taking out American citizens? Is that what he's talking about? The enemy from within? Again, Hitler-style rhetoric. This is Mein Kampf-style rhetoric. Remember the vermin poisoning the blood of our country, the enemy from within. The communist, Marxist, radical left lunatics. Remember all this shit? No different. No fucking different than this right here. You know, I'm sure if he's asked, he'll talk about the immigrant population. But in behind closed doors, I guarantee you he wraps up Democrats, liberals, leftists, and progressives in that same fucking category of people that are a threat to our country, that are a threat to his beliefs, that are a threat to his fucking power.
We are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. That's
all right. So again, like I said, enough of that one, but I just wanted to make sure I showed you that one. If there was any that I showed, let's see, just make sure. Was DC most dangerous city? Lies, more lies, more lies, more lies. So yeah, I think this is where we, oh, let's see. Can we get the one where Pete Hegseth says they shouldn't be fat? Yeah, here's one. No more dudes in dresses. No more clients you change worship. Here's a couple clips from Kegseth. Check this out.
This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department, to rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris.
No more reality, apparently. But you can keep Fox News on the TV stations in all of the military bases. That can happen. We don't want any of this other shit, but Fox News must remain on the television 24 hours a day in all of our military bases to continue to indoctrinate you guys as we're, again, doing away with these DEI policies and dudes in dresses, so to speak. So this fucking hateful, bigoted, trans-fucking-phobic, big, like I said, fucking disgusting nature of these people just absolutely knows no bounds. And they're so fucking comfortable in their position right now that they would literally call all of our fucking top-ranking military officers to a single place in order to give them this fucking bullshit propaganda spiel. That's how comfortable they are.
As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit.
Oh, yeah, big tough guy. Big fucking tough guy, as you can tell by the applause that he got. I think he says something about not being fat as well. Let's see if I can... Not that it's too important. Yeah, don't worry. But he also says something about implementing PT tests. And again, how many of these fucking admirals and generals are, 40, 50, 60 years old, have been in here for fucking, have put in their time, have put in their duty, have passed all the fucking tests that they can possibly fucking pass in order to get to the position that they're in. And now he's going to have them out there doing fucking push-ups and fucking sit-ups and jumping jacks like they don't already. You know what I mean? Like, fucking unreal. Unreal. All right, so what do you say we, before we run out of time, move into our next story here? Let me get rid of this one. Let's see, that one I can get rid of. Oh, this is, yeah, let me play this one first. I'll play this first. So this is just the RSBN coverage. We'll be talking about, obviously, Netanyahu's press conference and the Gaza proposal here, or lack thereof, my opinion. This is just Netanyahu, once again, leading Donald Trump by the nose, in order to have Donald Trump give Bibi Netanyahu fucking tacit permission, the green light, in order to go ahead with his final fucking solution to the Gaza problem, when he inevitably says that Hamas will not comply with this plan, right? So even if Hamas does I guarantee you Netanyahu and the Israeli government find a way to suggest or say that some sort of a violation has occurred, something wasn't agreed upon, something wasn't gone about in the right way, and that's going to allow them and justify them to continue this fucking rampage, again, with the blessing of Donald Trump. And that's what I believe this is all about. But this is RSBN before they even announced anything, before the press conference. Again, apparently getting or reading an email that they received from the Trump fucking White House. And let's see if that lines up. I just want to see if it differs at all. Because, again, this guy is under the impression that they are coming out to announce a peace deal that has already been agreed upon. All right? Like he was ready to crown him with the Nobel Peace Prize already. Check this out.
This afternoon to end the Gaza conflict. Gaza will be a de-radicalized, terror-free zone that does not pose a threat to its neighbors. That's number one right off the top of the list. Gaza will also be redeveloped for benefit of the people of Gaza, who suffered more than enough. If both sides agree to this proposal, the war will immediately end. Israeli forces will withdraw, and they have agreed upon a line to prepare for hostage release. During this time, all military operations, including aerial and artillery bombardment, will be suspended, and the battle lines will remain frozen until conditions are met for the complete staged withdrawal. If you're just joining us, it's breaking news here at Right Side Broadcasting Network at 2:20. President Trump to hold a presser with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. And it seems as if, according to this White House email, there has been brokered peace in Gaza. Breaking news.
Wrong. Incorrect. Infactual. Right? So according to this email, he says there has been a brokered peace. Has there been a brokered peace? I don't see it yet. I see a proposal. I see basically Netanyahu and Trump coming out with their list of fucking demands. But one of these demands, one of these things on the list, I find... I mean, not to mention that it's already a switch from what he just said where, the land will be rebuilt for the Palestinians. So what happened to removing them and moving them into the desert, right? Again, that's why I don't believe any of this bullshit. How could it possibly go from, okay, we're going to remove the entire population, we're going to set them up with their own fucking encampment somewhere out in the desert, we're going to take them all, we're going to build a fucking Trump Plaza Gaza, to all of a sudden, now we're going to rebuild it for the Palestinians, right? That's why I'm not fucking buying it. I don't think there was ever a time in which Benjamin Netanyahu or Donald Trump had any intentions or still have any intentions on seeing this plan through, regardless of what the response is by Hamas, right? But another one of these is that they're going to give amnesty and free passage to any Hamas member to any country of their choosing. Did I get that right? I think he says it right here. Hold on.
It's a joy to be with you here on Monday, September 29th. I'm Robert McNeely, as your go-to live desk is breaking all of the information down for you right now. Within 72 hours of Israel publicly accepting this agreement, all hostages alive and deceased will be returned.
Listen.
Once all hostages are released, Israel will release 250 life sentence prisoners plus 1,700 Gazans who were detained after October 7th of 2023, including all women and children detained in that context.
So they got women and children detained. Israel just says they got women and children detained.
Israeli hostage whose remains are released, Israel will release the remains of 15 deceased Gazans. Once all hostages are returned, Hamas members who commit to peaceful coexistence and to decommission their weapons will be given amnesty. Members of all Hamas who wish to leave Gaza will be provided safe passage to receiving countries. As we think our spot.
Does that sound like something that Benjamin Netanyahu would agree upon? Does it sound like anything that the Israeli ambassadors, the defense minister, anybody in the fucking Israeli government or Benjamin Netanyahu has said himself? Like, does it sound like he's ready to allow fucking amnesty to any of the Hamas members and free travel or passage to a country of their choosing? Are MAGA? What if the Hamas members, they decide the United States? What if they want to come to the United States? Is that on the table? Is that on the table? or there are certain countries off limits? Because I think there'd be a lot of fucking people in the MAGA base up in arms to see Hamas members or Palestinians coming to the United States after receiving amnesty. Like, it just doesn't fucking make any sense to me that, again, to call for the complete eradication, to call for the complete ethnic cleansing and removal of these people to a fucking settlement camp out in the desert somewhere, never to be seen or looked at again, so that they could have carte blanche to come in and redevelop this land as they see fit, right? To all of a sudden now they're going to be redeveloping it for the Palestinians. But if you actually read the peace plan, what it says is Donald Trump is going to be in charge of a committee, right? And then they're going to force the Palestinians, force them to go through a reform period, which God knows how long that's going to be, while Donald Trump and the rest of these fucking people are in charge of the rebuilding, right? That's what they want to happen. They want to be in charge of the rebuilding until, the Palestinians can prove to, I don't know, the world or to Donald Trump himself that they're worthy of again, governing themselves. And maybe at that point, the United States and this committee will think about handing over control back to the Palestinians, but we're going to redevelop it up until then, right? Again, nothing in this proposal talking about the West Bank. We heard Donald Trump the other day say that he would absolutely not allow Israel or Benjamin Netanyahu to annex the West Bank. He said he would absolutely. I see nothing in this proposal even mentioning the West Bank. Right? So a lot of things in here that are fishy. It seems like a take it or leave it type of thing. Like if you don't take it, then we're coming in full force and you're all going to be killed. And even if you do take it, chances are we're going to say that you didn't comply in some way, shape, or form, and we'll use that as justification to continue the tanks, continue the bombing, right? So it looks like a lose-lose situation when we've heard from many fucking Israeli officials that even if the remainder of the hostages were given back, that would not end the conflict. It's been said outright in fucking in clear terms, and not as many words, to say even if these hostages were returned, which is why we've seen the families of the hostages so upset. We've seen the protests outside of Netanyahu's house because of the way that they've gone about this, because of the lack of care they've shown to the hostages. So again, I'm not buying it. I'm not fucking buying it. I'm not fucking buying it. And let me see. I actually brought up, so we don't have to go through this whole thing. Let me see if I can find this. I posted a couple clips of it on Blue Sky. Let me see here. Yeah, so this is the moment where not only does Donald Trump call Benjamin Netanyahu a war hero, but also calls this his crowning achievement. Check this out. Calls this his crowning achievement. So earlier on in this press conference, he called Benjamin Netanyahu a war hero. Not a war criminal like he is. Not an internationally wanted man like he is. A war fucking hero. The president of the United States calling a genocidal freak, a genocidal madman who knows his only ability to stay out of prison is to stay in power. A war hero, and saying that this is his crowning achievement, ladies and gentlemen. Crowning achievement to kill 100,000 plus civilians, to kill men, women, and children by the thousands with no fucking weapons, waiting in fucking line to get aid. The same guy that we know funded Hamas, Benjamin Netanyahu, said himself he continuously funded Hamas to the tune of fucking millions, if not billions of dollars, so that he could continue the separation of the West Bank and Gaza in order to keep the instability in the region, so that he had a reason to stay in power. Like this motherfucker. Listen to this. The crowning achievement is the genocide of the Palestinian people for Benjamin Netanyahu. Check this shit out.
So, Bibi, congratulations on this. I think this will be your crowning achievement, frankly. If this all works out, we think it will. It's going to be your crowning achievement. And I want to thank you very much for being here. Thank you. So, Bibi.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. his crowning achievement, one of the most disturbing fucking timelines in modern history, one of the most depraved scenes that we've seen in fucking recent memory, if not in our entire fucking lives, is Benjamin Netanyahu's crowning achievement. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And there was a couple more here. Let me see. Let's see here if I can pull this back up. Because there was one or two more parts of this that I posted, and I think that one of them was pretty much showing the through line, the point of this whole thing. Let me see. Here's another one. Nope, that wasn't it. Let's see here. My apologies. It's official. Here it is right here. Put this on the screen for you guys.
But if Hamas rejects...
This is what it's all about. This is basically giving tacit permission to Israel, to Benjamin Netanyahu by Donald Trump. Again, this is going to be used as justification for the final solution to the Gaza problem. This right here, listen to this. This is important.
But if Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it.
Right there. That's it right there. So even if they were to accept, even if they do accept, right, that still doesn't mean that they're guaranteed the freedom or the peace that this, these terms afford them, right? We still have the ability to say, nope, doesn't matter. I know you fucking agreed to it. I know you probably did this, that, and the other thing, but because that situation or that guy walked and looked at us wrong, that's it. It's off. We're going in there. And now we have the full backing of the United States and Donald Trump to go in and do just that.
Then Israel will finish the job by itself. This can be done the easy way, or it can be done the hard way.
Now, does that sound familiar to you? Do we know anybody else in news recently that works for Donald Trump that may have used similar language? When talking about the FCC, Jimmy Kimmel, or the mergers? Does that sound familiar? We could do this the easy way, or we could do this the hard way. Brendan Carr, the chairman of the FCC, when talking about disallowing the merger, when talking about Jimmy Kimmel, when talking about Nexstar, whatever the fuck the company's name, said the exact same thing. And don't think that wasn't picked up on by Benjamin Netanyahu. And don't think there isn't a reason why he said that. Listen, one more time. I'll play the whole thing over again. I'll play it over without stopping it. And this is, again, going to be played over and over and over again. The second either Hamas complies and tries to fucking, tries to go along with what's been presented, and then all of a sudden Israel reneges on the deal for this, that, or the other. This will be played. Listen to this.
But if Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it, then Israel will finish the job by itself. This can be done the easy way, or it can be done the hard way. But if Hamas rejects...
Unbelievable. The easy way or the hard way. The gangsters up there with the microphones in their face with fucking millions of lives in their palms. And they just have absolutely no fucking care whatsoever. And again, this will absolutely be used as justification. This will absolutely be used, by Israel. Again, just knowing that they said that, just knowing that Netanyahu put that on the table, even if they do accept. But if they somehow step out of line, if they somehow do this, that, or the other, and we don't like it, we reserve the right to go in with full force, even if they accept. Unreal. And this just kind of brings us to a little bit of this CBS CBS clip here to kind of fill in the blanks, give us a little bit more information if we missed any here. If not, we're going to move on to Dim Fool Tim Pool talking about how he thinks Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump are preparing the military for war with Russia. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that.
Good evening. I'm John Dickerson.
I'm Maurice Dubois.
In just over a week, the war in Gaza will enter a third year unless Hamas agrees to a peace plan rolled out today by President Trump and accepted by Israel's prime minister.
The multi-point plan, which calls for an immediate end to the war and return of the hostages within 3 days.
The plan also...
Again, how are we calling this a war? Where is the war? Where are the militants? Where are the weapons? Where's the artillery? Where are the fucking, I don't know, where are the APCs and tanks? And where are the fucking, I don't know, where are the sandbags with positions set up with guns and shit? Because I'm sick of people calling this a fucking war. What is war like about this? I don't see combatants. I don't see fucking enemy combatants or militants. It's the furthest thing that I see. And I got into it with somebody on fucking Blue Sky the other day calling it a war. It's a war to take out people in fucking aid lines now. It's a war to take out women and children walking from one house to the next. It's called a war when you hit and strike a fucking hospital and then wait till, 10s and 20s and 30s of people fucking show up and then you hit it with another fucking 3 missiles. That's war? From what is supposed to be the most sophisticated fucking fighting force on the planet in the IDF. And this is the best fucking tactics. Again, I know we've been saying that since the fucking start, but this is the best tactics they could come up with. You want to talk about a fucking paper tiger, huh? You want to talk about somebody that was good on paper, but not in fucking actuality, like the fucking Russian military was? I give you the IDF, ladies and gentlemen.
First time lays out in detail the future of a post-war.
Look at all the combatants there. Look at all the weaponry. Look at all that. Man, they must be like fucking, they must have been like Charlie Kirk's shooter. Somehow they can get the AK down their pants without anybody noticing. Maybe it's in their hijab. Maybe it's in the backpack. Is it in the backpack? Maybe he disconnected the Mauser 7 times. Maybe all of these guys got they got K98 Mausers in their pants. You just can't see it, according to Kash Patel. Why don't we ask Kash Patel what they got?
At first, it would be run by a governing board that would include former British Prime Minister Tony Blair.
Oh, that's another one, too. Holy shit. Did you guys hear the new one? We probably won't have time to get into it today, but the new Charlie Kirk theory by people on the right. Have you heard this one? Holy shit. So now, not only was it in the 30-06, it wasn't anybody behind him. It wasn't anybody to the side of him. It wasn't anybody with fucking hand signals. It wasn't anybody with anything. What it was his lavalier microphone, his lapel microphone that was somehow exploded by the Israeli government. And again, as somebody that fucking cannot stand the Israeli government, I find this to be fucking like next level conspiracy shit, right? Next fucking level conspiracy shit. And people thinking about, oh, they had the pages, they had the beepers. Yeah, right. Okay. But what evidence do we have to suggest that? Again, I'm not going to get into it, but what they're using is a video clip that looks to show the microphone on his shirt kind of exploding before. Again, there's so many theories and so much bullshit out there now that, the tinfoil hats are about 14 feet long at this point. It's fucking nuts. It's getting heavy. But all right, let's see if we can finish this.
It would be headed by President Trump.
And the president made clear what will happen if Hamas does not accept the deal. Weijia Zhang is at the White House. Weijia?
Well, good evening. A White House official tells CBS News the Qatari prime minister and an Egyptian intelligence chief has met with Hamas negotiators and presented President Trump's 20-point proposal.
And I do believe, as in the proposal, it says the moment that Israel agrees upon it, they had, I think it was like 72 hours or something like that. I believe that clock has already started ticking. I believe, I think they said Israel agreed to it right away, and that, the clock started ticking. So we are several hours into that timeline already. She did just report that the Egyptian, let's see what she said. I think she said the Egyptian prime minister, if I'm not mistaken. The Qatari prime minister has already met and given Hamas the proposal. So we'll have to wait and see what is said.
Trump's 20-point proposal. If Hamas rejects this deal, Trump has given Israel the green light to carry on with and to finish the war.
Again, That's what Netanyahu wanted. That's what this is all about. That green light, right? That green light given to him by Donald Trump in the United States that kind of fucking alleviates him from international pressure. Like, so as long as he's got the backing and the blessing of Donald Trump in the United States, he really doesn't have to give a fuck of what France or what Canada or Mexico, what anybody else has to think, right? That's why he's so focused on this allied partnership. Like, that's why he's been to the United States 74 fucking times. That's why he's doing another press conference. That's why he's in Donald Trump's ear so much. He knows.
As Israeli bombs continue to hit Gaza, President Trump announced the violence could soon stop.
We had a long, strong talk, Bibi and I, and he understands it's time. It's time.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says he supports the White House's 20-point peace proposal if Hamas also agrees.
Why wouldn't it? It's every single one of your demands that you guys sat down and thought up together in the fucking back room. What's not to love for you?
The war will immediately end. All hostages will be returned within 72 hours of Israel publicly accepting the deal, and Israeli forces will begin withdrawing in stages.
I actually think there's let me see here if I can. I think there was actually like a picture too. Let's see here. Fire drawing. I think there was like kind of lines that were to show where Israel was supposed to fall back to during the different levels of the pullback. Probably take me too long to find it. But if you're searching for it, I do believe there is a graphic out there to depict the levels of, retreat that the Israeli fucking armed forces are supposedly going to follow. I believe it's represented with 3 different color lines. If you find it, that's probably the one that you're looking for. But all right, let's see if we can move on here to this asshole, which is Dim Fool Tim Pool, because I'm dying to know if he's got any inside information to tell us that we're going to war with Russia, or to suggest that Kegseth is getting ready the armed forces for some sort of war, right? Because apparently that's what's going on in Tim Pool's mind. Kegseth tells military to prepare for war in epic speech, ends woke policies. So let's see what this idiot's got to say, and then I will get you guys out of here. And thank you all for your contributions, everybody. That again is the backbone, the spine, the reason why we stay on the air. Everybody in the YouTube membership community and everybody in the Patreon community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll make sure to get to your Venmos, your PayPals, and your Super Chats at the end of the show. So make sure if you are in the financial position to do so, please think about contributing. Please think about kicking in a buck or two. It goes a long way, and I again trying to share the wealth, trying to spread out the burden. So what do you say we dive into this and see what new information Tim Pool has on what Pete Kegseth is preparing the military for? Is it war with Russia? Let's find out. Let's find out.
Addressed some of the top military leaders saying woke is over, and perhaps, in my opinion, one of the most powerful things he said was, do the honorable thing and resign. That is, if in any way you are offended by what he's saying. See, the problem we have right now, my friends, and most of you know this, is
that's the thing. I don't think they're like offended by what he's saying. I think they expect what he's saying to come out. What they're offended by is the fact that they now have to listen. They're now being led by somebody with far less knowledge, far less military experience than they are, and somebody fucking far less morally superior than they are. So he's an alcoholic, woman abuser. So they expect this bullshit. He's an idiot. They know he's an idiot. So they expect this stupidity to come out. But what they're really frustrated is that they have to listen to his order to come fucking halfway around the world to listen to this bullshit. Right? I think that's what they're all fucking frustrated about. Oh, thank you, Nordez. Thank you, Nordez. I appreciate that, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Sorry to anybody that I've missed. But again, like I said, at the end of every single show that we do, we go down the list, the line of all Venmos, all Super Chats, anybody that contributed, and we make sure to thank you guys. So don't feel like you're getting left out whatsoever. I promise I would never do that.
Civilian leadership, and again, I'm just reiterating what Pete Kegseth said, was pushing insane political ideology on the military, creating a bureaucratic mess where people who complain.
And you know what's better now? It's a lot better now that trans Air Force members don't get their their benefits. That's what's really good, right? Like, so that's one of the good changes I think that Tim would agree on. I think that Pete would really like to push this out there. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. This should do. This is always what you want to see from your Secretary of Defense. This is also the representation and the support that you want to see the military given the people that sacrifice so much. U.S. Air Force to deny early retirement benefits to some transgender service members. That's good, right? That's a good headline. That's support. That's making people feel like, that there's a reason why they belong. There's a reason why they sacrifice so much and decided to give up everything to defend their country. I thought Tim was saying like good things were going on while Kegseth was under, but apparently that couldn't be further from the truth, and Tim's just lying to our faces.
Getting ahead instead of those who were effective, those who were trying their hardest and actually helping to make this military formidable. You had a system of complainers.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the reputation that we had around the world. There's all that time that people were talking about us as not the strongest military on the face of the planet. When was that? I don't know. It must have been a while. I think that's now. I think people are more embarrassed about the United States, about the representation. Again, not to mention the Ryder Cup. I wanted to get into that early, but it kind of seemed a little bit insignificant at the time when we were talking about all this stuff. But how embarrassing was that for anybody that cares about, that likes sports, that cares about how the U.S. is represented on the world stage in some of these events? I was utterly embarrassed at every single turn, not only by the play of the United States, by the fact that Donald Trump showed in and fucking threw his bad juju all over it, the setup of the course, the fucking the behavior of the fans was absolutely fucking horrid. Was embarrassing on every single fucking level and totally representative of Donald Trump and the way that he goes about doing things. The total lack of fucking self-respect, the total lack of respect for the other team and the other team's fucking, wives and family was an absolute fucking disgrace and has only gone further in embarrassing the United States on the world stage, has gone more to solidify the reputation that the United States now has on the world stage. Go ahead. Go look at the videos. I know you may not care about sports. You may not give a fuck about golf, but I'm sure you care about how the world is looking at the United States, how the world thinks about the United States. No fucking shortage of videos to go around from both Americans and fucking Europeans to say how embarrassed they were, how egregiously fucking disgusting and disrespectful it was. How shitty the fucking course was. Supposedly, Bethpage Black is supposed to be one of the most difficult courses on the fucking planet and couldn't have been set up. The whole thing was a disaster start to finish. The media coverage, missing golf shots when there was four groups on the whole golf course, and we're not getting all the shots. I could go on and on and on, but again, just a microcosm and just a small example of how the world is looking and viewing at the United States, and it's fucking embarrassing.
People, as she describes, walking on eggshells because at any moment, some random Yahoo would complain about something you told them, like, maybe
my goodness. Thank you so much, Peter. The real offense is, quote, leadership doesn't know or care to understand the true value of the military of a nation, pledging their loyalty to the Constitution and rule of law instead of the temporary leader of the country. Amen, Peter. Amen. Spot on, brother. Spot the fuck on. I have absolutely no notes whatsoever for that, and I can't thank you enough for your incredibly generous $20 fucking super chat. Thank you so much, and thank you for chiming in. I really appreciate it. And I'd love to hear all of your thoughts. It doesn't have to be in a super chat. Just throw it in the chat there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of these things, as always, whether it be representative of, show me through emoji or with your words. But I'm dying to know what you guys think of all this as well. I'm with Peter. I'm with Peter.
Lose weight or be in shape, and they'd say, that's sexist, that's racist, that's anti-gay. And he said, enough. We will no longer do this. Now, as I am recording this, Donald Trump is prepared.
Kegseth is an embarrassment. My father was a retired lieutenant commander in the Navy, active duty in both World War II and the Korean War. He was proud of his service. All my uncles also served in World War II. Well, Joy, please thank Oh, my apologies. My apologies. Please I don't know how to do that now. And I got to dig myself out of that hole. Please know that he was an absolute fucking hero. How about that? I didn't want to disrespect you. I'm not sure if that was a was, as in he's still around, or if he's not still around. So I don't want to bring up any hard feelings, any emotions, or disrespect in any way, of course. But if he is still with us, he is an absolute hero. And if for some reason, God forbid, he has passed already, he is a legend and it was an absolute hero and should be you should be very, very proud of that history. Very, very proud of your uncles, and very, very proud of their sacrifice. So I apologize. I stumbled my way through that, Joy, but I hope you get the sentiment and what I was at least trying to get across on that one. Jesus, did I butcher that? My apologies.
Preparing to give his statement as well. But I got to say, Pete Hegseth gave a strong statement. If women can't make the cut, then women can't make the cut. We're not.
That's not what he said, though. That's not what he said, and it's not what he said in any one of his interviews either. He does not want women in combat because he thinks it inherently complicates the situation. He thinks that it is inherently a weak spot, right? He doesn't say anything about fucking PT and if they can't fucking, only if they can't carry this rucksack or only this. No, he has come out and plainly and clearly said he does not want women in combat because he thinks it fucking hurts the fighting force. Right? He doesn't think it makes the fighting force better. He doesn't think that they have their role. He doesn't think that they can play their part. He doesn't think that they are just as tough, both mentally and physically in a lot of cases, as the men in the situation, which has just been proven false time and time again. Right? Let's see here. I think it was the A10. Yeah, here she is. Here's Kim. Here's Kim. You want to know something that Pete Hegseth could never do? You want to know something that Pete Hegseth doesn't have the fucking mental fortitude, the knowledge, or the fucking education to do? He doesn't have the knowledge, the capability, or the know-how to become a fucking A-10 pilot. You know how I know that? Because he never became a fucking A-10 pilot. You know who did become an A-10 pilot? Kim Campbell. The female A-10 pilot who landed her damaged Warthog using only cranks and cables. I am incredibly thankful to those who designed and built the A-10, as well as maintainers who did their part to make sure that jet could fly under any circumstances, even after extensive battle damage. Here's Kim. This is the battle damage you can see on our A-10. Fucking extensive damage, not only to the wing, to the fuselage. Right? These incredible photos show Captain Kim Campbell surveying the battle damage of her A-10 Thunderbolt in Southwest Asia. She was hit over Baghdad during a close air support mission, as told by Stacy Shafran, 3rd 355 Fighter Wing Public Affairs. In the article, our Operation Iraqi Freedom hero shares her story. While deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Captain Campbell and her flight lead were flying over downtown Baghdad during a close air support mission on April 2003, tasked with targeting some Iraqi tanks and vehicles in the city. They're acting as a command post, but on the way to the target area, received a call from the Ground Forward Air Control, FAC, that they were taking fire and needed immediate assistance. The FAC ultimately turned out to be a member of the captain's squadron. Once over the target area, she descended below the clouds to positively identify the friendly troops and the enemy location. We could see the Iraqi troops firing RPGs, rocket-propelled grenades into our guys. It was definitely a high-threat situation, but within minutes, my flight lead was employing his 30 millimeter Gatling gun on the enemy's location. The two-ship formation of the A-10s made several passes over the enemy location, employing 30-millimeter bullets and high explosives. Look at the fucking damage. Right, so just a small example, a small snippet. If I was Kim Campbell, you know who I wouldn't want in combat? Is fucking Pete Hegseth. That's who I wouldn't want in combat, because there's a liar fucking ability. That's why. I am fucking 100% confident in Captain Kim Campbell's fucking skills and ability. And I'm sure the people that fly with her are as well. But what they wouldn't want is an alcoholic woman abuser dragging down their fucking deployment, dragging down their squadron like Pete Hegseth. So next time you talk about fucking women in combat, women in the military, put some fucking respect on their name, Pete. How about that? Unless you think about getting into an A-10 anytime soon and flying over a fucking combat area to save one of your fucking people. And if not, you better shut the fuck up.
Changing the standards for people who can't make the cut. This means there will be less women. Some women won't make it. And if that's what happens, it is what it is. Now me, I'm not a military guy. I'm not.
Oh, you think?
But I can certainly understand right now.
They don't let fucking 4'2", bald, chubby, fucking out of shape, fucking hack skateboarders into the military. You saying? Is that a thing? Was that somehow implemented by Pete Hegseth? Was that one of his rules? You need to be at least fucking 4'11" in order to fight and ride this ride. Curious, because I know he says something about here in Russia. Is there anything in here about Russia? I'm curious here. Let's see. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Preparing for the largest draft they've ever had. So let me do this. Let's first talk about why Pete Hegseth is saying what he's saying. Prepare for war. New mission, high standards for U.S. armed forces. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth spoke to military leaders at Quantico on Tuesday morning, letting them know just what the change from the Department of Defense to Department of War really means. The new mission of the department, he said, is
I don't need to read you watching on. I don't need to fucking read an article.
We must prepare for war. From this moment forward, the only mission of the newly restored Department of War is this: warfighting, preparing for war and preparing to win, unrelenting and uncompromising in that pursuit.
Now, I'm just kind of curious. Now, at what point in recent memory has the United States not been prepared for war? Do we need more bases around the fucking world? Do we need more ships? Do we need more tanks? Do we need more people deployed all over the world? What do we need that more of? Like at what point are we not really I'm just kind of curious, because he thinks he's coming in here and changing like the minds and the ethos of these people, when I guarantee you every single person in that fucking audience is more prepared for war than Pete Hegseth could ever even fucking hope to know about. And he's up there preaching from his fucking Fox News weekend couch.
Not because we want war. No one here wants war. But it's because we love peace. We love peace for our fellow citizens. They deserve peace, and they rightfully expect us to deliver it.
It was all in all pretty amazing. This right here, let's go.
Precision and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, F-A-F-O. If necessary, our troops can translate that for you.
Jesus Christ. What a fucking high school fucking piece of shit. What an absolute chuckle fuck. To our enemies, F-A-F-O. And that is supposed to what? Threaten them? That's going to scare them? That's supposed to put the fucking fear of God into our enemies? Is the fucking drunk womanizer national fucking Secretary of Defense going on and saying F-A-F-O, F-A, to our enemies, F-A-F-O, and our military can translate that. I can't, but they can. It's like, who the fuck do you think you're fooling? Is this supposed to intimidate Russia? Is that what's going on? Is this intimidating Putin?
Theoretically, the military is never full. They're always recruiting.
Aggressives. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusion. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again,
stupid, I don't know, nation building, being like, man.
So does he say anything about fucking Russia? I could have sworn. Military repair space for, let's see here. Could have sworn he was talking about Russia in here. Oh, here it is. I knew he had something to say. Let's see what he has to say.
We don't have to, because everyone's so scared. Where we're at right now is actually pretty scary. Russia's Sergei Lavrov warns NATO countries in the UN General Assembly speech after Trump shifts tone on Ukraine. Foreign minister warns of a decisive response blast Iran sanctions. Let me pull this story in for you guys. Take a look at this. Putin orders 135,000 men to join the military in largest fall draft in 9 years. I don't want to be involved in a war overseas. We got enough problems with these narco gangs coming out of Venezuela and South America, bringing drugs.
Yeah, dude, we got enough problems with these fucking boats carrying 10, sometimes 11 guys. Oh man, we got those. That's the serious problem. That is those little fucking rowboats with the 250 horsepower engines on them, with the fucking, the 8 or 9 guys that have been stolen out of their homes and forced to transport these bundles of whatever. We don't know. That's the real issue, not the nuclear powers, not the fucking, not the nuclear capable Russia and the 135,000 people it has just sent into a years-long war in which they've lost 1 million plus of their soldiers. No, not the one in which the other side, the side that's being attacked, is an ally in which the United States had signed the Budapest Memorandum in order to, give up their nuclear arsenal in the case that Russia were ever to attack them. We would, guarantee their security. But that's not the problem. We don't need to be getting in any foreign wars. What we really need to do is get those fucking wooden boats, baby. Those wooden boats.
Through our border, child trafficking, all this really nasty stuff.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Donald Trump said we haven't had a single person come through that border in 8 months. Now, I don't buy it. I'm assuming you buy it, though. So can you still go on with this, invasion bullshit? Can you still go on with, we need to fucking take care of the threat at home coming across the border? Apparently, nobody's coming across the border. So that's taken care of. Maybe we can we continuously focus on, the nuclear power threatening one of our allies every single night and killing fucking innocent people on a daily basis? How about we focus on that, not the wooden fucking skiffs with the fishermen going out with their fucking bait. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Where is it? Where'd it go? There it is.
And you know what should be happening? Venezuela should be saying, stop. These guys who are getting up on these boats with drugs should be like, I ain't doing that. Are you crazy? And that's what we are getting.
That's what I tried getting through your fucking thick skull. But unfortunately, you must have a liner of aluminum in that beanie of yours, right? That fucking surgically attached beanie to your bald ass dome piece. Must be fucking, I don't know, reflecting the radio waves somehow. They don't give a fuck. Again, you don't know these people are there under their own willpower. That's the whole point. They could be forced to be doing this. You think the fucking narco terrorists and these people, the high-ranking members of this, are sending their own family, sending their own brothers and sisters on these boats? No. They're probably using the poor, exploiting the poor, right? Ripping people out of their homes and forcing them to do it and saying, hey, if you go do this and you make it back, we'll release your family. So the people that were actually taken out are the innocent people in the fucking village, forced from their fucking homes, probably threatened with their lives in order to do this shit. Meanwhile, the actual narco terrorists are fucking, laughing all the way to the bank because they sent out 43 other boats that you didn't fucking get. So it's like Tim and all these people are surprised, I can't believe they haven't given up yet. We've taken out 2 boats of 11 people. Isn't that enough to deter them from coming in? No, they don't give a fuck. Remember the fucking cocaine wars in Miami? How many people were getting shot up in broad daylight left and right? Did people not sell coke anymore? Do people not do coke anymore? Is that a thing? Because of all the death and destruction? No, they don't give a flying fuck. Good grief.
With a real Department of War.
Oh, thank you.
I got to tell you. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we get, Collateral Murder was the name of the video put up by WikiLeaks. And I'm wondering why it is there is a video at all of, I think it was Apache or something, a helicopter strike on a bunch of guys, including a Reuters journalist. And it was this big scandal. Whoopsie. Why is that the news that we're getting? What are we doing over there? No, I get it. You had
doing over where? Where's he talking about?
The Gulf War. You had weapons of mass destruction, whatever the claims were. And I'm just like, what is this? The obsession that the liberal economic order had, the European and U.S. forces with going overseas and nation building. They were trying to, it was nation building, right? What does that have to do with making the American people live better lives?
What does that have to do with defending the Ukrainian people after forcing them to give up their nuclear arsenal? And in, again, the event that they were attacked by Russia, we would guarantee their security. What the fuck does that? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Now, let me say this. I'm not so stupid or naive to think that with Hegseth and Trump, we won't get similar things. I don't trust any of these guys.
All right. Nope, you don't trust them, but you're really, really happy that they're preparing the military for war? I thought you were anti-war. I thought you didn't like war. I thought you didn't want to be engaged in war all throughout the planet. I thought you wanted to take care of the homeland and, you know, the isolationist that you are and make sure that America first. Then why the fuck is he preparing the military for war if that's what you suggest he's doing? Why are you telling us that Putin's ordering up 135,000 to suggest that maybe Kegseth is getting our military ready to fight Russia? You better make sure you get all that tenant money. You better make sure you get all that tenant money before that happens. I can tell you that much. Oh, shit, we're out of time already? Fuck. Man, it goes so quick. All right, let me get into thanking some people. There's no reason to continue to listen to what fucking Dim Pool has to say anyway. But let me see if I can get into thanking some people on the old Venmo machines. Let me see here. And then we'll do the super chats and the super thanks, and we'll make sure that you get you guys out here and listening to your next favorite creator that is hopping on. Oh, you guys are amazing. You really are. Jenny Faye, thank you so much. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Moms. Thank you, JD again. And thank you, Nancy, so much. You guys are fantastic. You go so long. It goes such a long way in helping this channel stay on the air. Like, I can't express or I can't like explain or implore enough how important it is for you guys to continue to support independent media. If you find yourself coming back, day in and day out, or for a couple shows out of the week, please, if you're in the financial position to do so, think about kicking in $1. That's all I ask for. $1 or $2, whatever you can afford. If you can do 1, that's great. If you can do 2, even better. Other than that, anything above and beyond that is totally on you guys. And like I said, I can't thank you enough, and I can't tell you how important it is that, again, people get to eat. A guy's got to eat. That's all. A guy's got to eat. So what do you say we get into thanking the people here on the Venmos and on the YouTubes? Thank you so much, Tanya. Good to see you. Love y'all. Please stay safe. Thank you so much for being here for 11 months. Thank you so much for your kind and generous contributions. And thank you so much for keeping that chat a safe place. We miss you. We appreciate you. And thank you for being here. Monica, appreciate you. Thank you so much for that $10 super sticker. I appreciate that. What is that picture? Is that like abstract? I feel like I could visualize about 18 different things in that picture. I appreciate that, Monica. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. And Susan, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Remember, No Kings 2.0, Saturday, October 18th. Resist. Absolutely. As I always say, find your nearest protest, find your nearest rally. Thank you, Susan, for keeping us informed. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your kind contributions to the channel. We really do appreciate you. FDT says Veronica, and we're all in agreement on that one. Thank you so much for the $10 super sticker, super chat. I appreciate that. And yeah, absolutely no notes. We are absolutely in agreement on that one. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, Angela, as well. Per Morning Joe this morning, Bureau of Labor Statistics will not release unemployment figures if there is still a shutdown on Friday. Interesting. What's that? To avoid the bad news, or is that a normal strategic thing? I'm not 100% sure, but I appreciate you, Angela. Thank you so much for filling us in on that one. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sheldon, so much for the one gifted dude. Honestly, I'm running out of words to say thank you. I'm running out of words to show my appreciation for the guys that continuously come back day in and day out. Not only that, but continuously support and show up in a big way. Bicycle Mike, what's up, you handsome motherfucker? What is up, brother? Hey, Lobster's starting to feel better. Oh, that's good to hear, buddy. That's good to hear. It's been a long road. It's been a slow road to recovery, but as long as we're continuously getting better, as long as we're feeling better every single day, then that's something that I can get behind. So I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if there's anything that we can do, whether it be me or anybody in the chat, please let us know, and we'll be happy to see if we can get that accommodated for you. But Bicycle Mike, thank you so much, buddy. Hope you're feeling better. Kristen, thank you. 8647, elbows up all the way, baby. Let's fucking go. Thank you for being here for 18 months. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your commitment to the cause. And let's fucking go. 8647 is right. Elbows up. 2 minutes elbowing. Thank you, Ruben. Christ, hold on 1 sec. Damn. My nose is itchy. My nose is itchy. Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what was all BS, but you can guarantee it was some sort of Republican, some sort of Donald Trump, some sort of Benjamin Netanyahu that was probably speaking at that time. So you're 100% right, and I thank you for being here, brother. I really do. Once again, thank you. The war on Palestine, men, women, and children. Again, not much of a war. I don't think any of the footage that we've seen lately would do anything to suggest that there was an actual war being fought. You know, in the mind, like as we would picture in our minds, a war being fought. It is the most heavily one-sided conflict that I can possibly remember. So I appreciate you, Ruben. Thank you so much for that generous and kind contribution as well. The 2 5s there. Thank you, Nordez. Let's fucking go, buddy. Let's fucking go. I appreciate you, brother. I really do. I really do. Same for Peter. Appreciate you, Peter. The real offense is the leadership doesn't know or care to understand the true value of the military of a nation pledging their loyalty to the Constitution and rule of law instead of a temporary leader of the country. Again, spot on. I have no notes. They just, it's something foreign to them. It's something that they just cannot get through their thick skulls, that, you know, you should be far more loyal to not only the country, but also just the office of the presidency as opposed to the man that holds that office, right? So thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. Same for Arizona Sunflowers. You guys are fucking amazing. Love you, Brian. I wish I could donate more. Don't even for a second think about apologizing or feeling bad or you know, thinking you have to explain yourself in any way, shape, or form. That is crazy town. Not even for a second, Arizona Sunflowers. That is far beyond the contributions, far beyond anything that I could possibly even, you know, hope to ask for from anybody. So don't even for 1 second think about apologizing again, explaining yourself. If you're anything like me, I would I would struggle to be in the financial position right now to contribute to any other channels. You know, so believe me, I know things are tough, things are tight, things are expensive. You know, it's tough to plan when you don't know what's coming next. I 100% get it, and believe me, don't think for a second that you need to explain yourself or say sorry or apologize. And that goes for the entire chat too, the entire fucking chat, every single one of you. Don't for a second think that you need to apologize or again. Explain yourselves or tell me about your situation in life and why you can't. Believe me, we're all fighting together. We're all fighting for the same cause, and we all know how difficult things out there right now. So I appreciate it more than you could possibly imagine. So that goes for you, Arizona, and everybody else too. So JD, thank you, brother, for the profanity bonus. Thank you, Peter. War is young folks dying and old men making bank. War is young folks dying and old men making bank. Gotcha. Let's see here. Who is next? Arizona again, dude. I especially don't apologize when you're coming in again. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for your generous and kind contributions. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for being a fan of Blunt Politics, and thank you for supporting me. I really do. I thank you for it. I really do. Kristen, that goes for you as well for the 5 gifted memberships. Please make sure if you got one of those 5 gifted memberships that you're thanking Kristen and anybody else that gave, memberships out there. Nordez, tons of people out there. So thank you, Kristen again. Thank you, Ruben again. You rock, Brian. Thank you. No, you rock. I don't accept thank yous. I give out thank yous. You guys are the people. Again, I continue to say you are the backbone not only of this channel but also of the of this country, right? So it is you guys that I need to be thanking. It is you guys for your passion. It is you guys for your aggression. It is you guys for your advocacy and organizational skills that I need to be thanking. So I appreciate you. That goes for Jim. 135K. That's about 4 months of Russian losses. Right. Exactly. Sounds like a lot, but ain't going to get them too far. Especially when you think about how poorly trained those 135K are, how they are armed, you know, what equipment they're going into the battlefield with. I mean, that could be a lot less than 4 months too. So thank you, Jim, for pointing that out. I appreciate it, and you're 100% right. And then to round us off is Ruben. One-sided war. There is no Palestinian army. Exactly what we were saying. Exactly what we were saying, Ruben. I appreciate you for backing me up and corroborating what I was saying. And I'll let you guys go. I apologize for going over a couple minutes. I hope you enjoy some of the other great creators that are on today. Please make sure, if it is not I who gives you the most bang for your buck, if it is not I who gives you the most information or education or kills the most time or makes you laugh or whatever it may be, please find that creator that does give you that most bang for your buck, the most value-tainment. And think about supporting them financially. But if it is this channel, if it is Blunt Politics, if it is this community that you find yourself coming back to, please think about contributing financially. Like I said, there's Venmo, PayPal. You can become a YouTube channel member, or you can sign up at patreon.com/BostonBrian. That gets you into our Zoom chats that we have every single month as well. We get 2 of them a month, so make sure you signed up there. Until next time, I'll see you tomorrow for our doubleheader. We got our day show tomorrow, and then we got our 8:30 p.m. show tomorrow night. So make sure you're hitting that notification bell so it tells you when I go live. That way you don't have to remember the times. And I'll see you tomorrow for the doubleheader. All right, I'll see you on this space for the morning show. We're right here, and then we're also broadcast to this space. And then I'll see you right here back in Blunt Politics, 8:30 tomorrow night for another one of these ridiculously ridiculous shows. I mean, who knows what happens from now till then, right? But so stay loud, stay proud, keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you find any nearest protest, find your nearest rally, get out there. But like I said, stay safe. You never know who's out there trying to cause some trouble. And I will see you guys tomorrow for both of our shows. Make sure you're there for that. Again, hit that notification bell, hit the like on the way out, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. It's free to do so. It doesn't cost you a single solitary cent. It's free. All right, so I'll see you next time. I appreciate you. I'm Boston Brian. This is Blunt Politics, and I'll see you tomorrow for the doubleheader. All right, peace. I don't think I have a Cash App on here. I know I have one, but I don't think I have the sign on here. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Tiff. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Rox. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lokita. All you guys, I appreciate you. I really do. Couldn't happen without you guys. What's up, WW? Peace out, JB. Peace out, Jim. Hey, Kelly.
When you ran out the healthy arms, you ran out of really healthy. They had great arms, but they ran out. It's called sports. It's called baseball in particular. Wrong.
The town drunk. Brian, you're drunk. You're drunk.
Where you going? Nowhere. It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful life. Give yourself a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
I'm standing up here bashing the living shit out of Nazis. Hey, you got a little chubby going there.
He says rectum damn near killed him. I'm just dandy. I got a bowl of chocolate pudding in my underpants. In the hell was that all about?